If you're in the market for an amazing wireless router, then you've come to the right video. These are our top 5 wireless routers in 2025 and going in to 2026. And to be clear, this list will not contain any TP-Link routers since there is a potential ban in the US. We chose these 5 wireless routers according to features, specifications, performance, size, style, and of course price. Alrighty, router number 1. This is our top pick for a high-performance Wi-Fi 6 gaming router. This is the ASUS ROG Rapture GT AX11000 Pro. This router has blazing fast throughput speeds, and with the 8 antennas, you will achieve a wide signal coverage area, which is great for large homes. This router includes 5 LAN ports, which includes one 2.5 gig LAN port and one 10 gig LAN port. It also includes link aggregation for even faster speeds. This router also includes 2 USB ports, also includes anti-malware tools, and QoS. And as a bonus, this router includes Range Boost Plus, which can expand your signal range by 38%, because more range is more better. And to top it off, this router also supports the Uni4 Spectrum. The only 2 downsides to this Wi-Fi 6 gaming router is the router is kind of big because of the 8 antennas. And this router is pretty expensive and is currently priced around $400 on Amazon. So if you live in a large 1 or 2 story home and you're a hardcore gamer who requires a lot of throughput and reliable speeds, then this router is the one for you. The AX11000 Pro product link will be listed in the description below. Okay, wireless router number 2. This is our top pick for the best Wi-Fi 6E gaming router. This is the MSI Radix AXE6600. This router includes one 2.5 gig port for WAN or LAN, 1 gigabit port for WAN or LAN, and 3 additional gigabit LAN ports, and also includes 1 USB port. One of my favorite features about this router is the AI QoS, which automatically prioritizes data packets, which gives the user the best experience possible. So whether you're gaming, web surfing, or on a Zoom call, AI QoS will keep everything smooth. But what about Wi-Fi speeds? Well, this Wi-Fi 6E router delivers strong throughput on the 6 GHz band, achieving speeds up to 532 megabits per second, which is almost 200 megabits per second ahead of its nearest competitor. However, the further the distance, those numbers begin to shrink. In testing at the 5 GHz band, at a close connection, it achieved 486 megabits per second. But the router's 2.4 GHz band performed just average. But what's really great about this router, it has a fantastic and easy to use web control interface. You'll even find CPU and memory consumption, which is something you don't see in most routers. And lastly, if you like RGB like I do, well, this router has a plethora of RGB lights, all of which can be controlled with the MSI Center software on your PC. So guys and gals, if you're looking for a great Wi-Fi 6E gaming router for under $200, this router from MSI will do the trick. The MSI product link will be in the description below. Alrighty, router number 3 is the EERO 7. If you're looking for blistering fast speeds and money is no object, then the EERO Max 7 could be for you. This router delivers throughput as high as 1,130 megabits per second. However, the further you are from the router, those speeds will shrink quite a bit. However, if you want to take advantage of the EERO 7's maximum bandwidth, you will need Wi-Fi 7 client devices, like computers, phones, or tablets. And to be honest, most devices today are just not compatible. But don't worry, in the near future, all new devices will be compatible with the Wi-Fi 7 routers. So when you buy this router, you're basically future-proofing your home's Wi-Fi. The EERO Max 7 includes 2 2.5 gigabit ports for WAN and LAN connections, 2 10 gigabit ports for both WAN and LAN connections, and this router supports 200 plus devices with max coverage of 2,500 square feet, and adding additional nodes greatly expands your coverage area. But those nodes are very expensive. And the price for this router is $600. And if you get the router and the node, it's almost $1,200. Wow. So guys and gals, if you need blazing fast Wi-Fi speeds, and you have deep pockets, and you want to future-proof your home Wi-Fi, then the EERO Max 7 is the router for you. The product link will be in the description below. Alrighty, wireless router number 4. If you're looking for a high-performance Wi-Fi 6E router with a unique design and is easy to set up, then the NETGEAR Nighthawk RAXE 300 is the router for you. This Wi-Fi 6E router from NETGEAR is not cheap. However, the router's tri-band Wi-Fi 6E provides impressive speed along with multiple high-speed Ethernet ports for wired connections. And the Nighthawk app is easy to use. But the downside is you'll have to pay extra for some features like parental controls. This NETGEAR Nighthawk router has a low-profile design and prominent wings. And it looks like some sort of spaceship from Star Wars. But those wings do serve a purpose, and it's not for flying. Inside the wings are 6 antennas. These 6 antennas provide high-performance Wi-Fi, utilizing the 2.4, the 5, and the 6 GHz band, which provides max Wi-Fi speeds up to 7.8 gigabits per second. And those speeds are fast enough for 4K or 8K video, any type of gaming, and that even includes using that crazy VR headset. And the max Wi-Fi coverage is around 2,500 square feet and 40 devices. The back of the router has 6 LAN ports, a 1 gig WAN LAN port, 4 dedicated 1 gig LAN ports, 2 of which have link aggregation, and 1 2.5 gig WAN LAN port. And also includes a Type-C USB 3.0 port. And here are the max speeds for the wired and wireless connections. This router has maxed wired speeds at 2 gigabits per second, 600 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band, 4.8 gigabits per second on the 5 gigahertz band, and 2.4 gigabits per second on the 6 gigahertz band, for a total of 7.8 gigabits per second. But remember, you can only use one band at a time. And these speeds are all predicated on your max ISP speeds. Your internet connection will never go faster than your max ISP speeds ever. So if you're in the market for a Wi-Fi 6E high-performance router that encompasses a unique look and design, then this router is the one for you. The product link for this router is listed in the description below. Okay, wireless router number 5 is the ASUS RT-BE96U. And this is our top pick for best overall Wi-Fi 7 router. And of all 5 routers on this list, this is one of my favorites. The RT-BE96U is ASUS's first Wi-Fi 7 router. And to be honest, this router has everything you want or need. And this router has been available since August 2023. The RT-BE96U is a tri-band BE19000, which means combining the 2.4, the 5, and the 6 GHz band, which gives you a total of a whopping 19,000 megabits per second. And typical of all ASUS routers, it's AI mesh ready. So adding a second router is super easy. This router features a quad-core 2.6 GHz CPU and includes 2 gigs of DDR4 RAM. So basically this router is a small computer. This router contains 2 10 gig ports and 4 1 gig ports. So this router has plenty of ports. And this router also has plenty of USB ports. You get one USB 3.0 and one USB 2.0. And there are hardware buttons as well. You get a power switch, a reset button, a WPS button, and the all-important LED control. One of the few downsides to this router is that it has a large footprint, especially with those 8 antennas, and the router is a bit heavy at 4 pounds. And one thing to note about setting up the ASUS router, you want to avoid using the mobile app for the setup process. And I recommend using the web interface. And matter of fact, I like using the web interface for all brand routers that allow it, because the web interface is much easier to use. And let's go back to the network ports. By going into the ASUS settings, you can turn a gigabit port into the primary WAN port, and then you can use the 10 gig ports as LANs. And you can also combine the default WAN port with the 4th LAN port to form a WAN link aggregation. You could also combine the 1st and 2nd LAN ports into a LAN link aggregation. And lastly, you could set this up in dual WAN. You can use any 2 network ports to host 2 separate broadband connections.
or use a USB port to host a cellular as the backup. Overall, this ASUS router has very flexible port management. However, it would have been nice to have 2.5 gig ports instead of 1 gig ports. And during the testing of the router, it stayed cool and silent. As far as our speed test goes, taking a look at the 6 GHz band, we saw speeds at 2,167 megabits per second. And at 40 feet with clear line of sight to the router, we got 2,006 megabits per second. Pretty impressive. As far as the 5 and the 2.4 GHz bands, they were superb. As far as the Wi-Fi coverage area goes, this can be a bit tricky to calculate. However, it's safe to say the RT-BE96U can cover up to 2,500 square feet. But make sure you place the router in the middle of the home. This gives you the best chance to cover all areas. As far as wired performance goes, over the 10 gig connection, we saw 6,181 megabits per second, and this was using Cat6a. With Cat5e, we saw 895 megabits per second. As far as NAS performance, we got 212 megabits per second over a 1 gig connection. So guys and gals, if you want a Wi-Fi 7 router with lots of port options, including 10 gig and link aggregation, and you want a router with lots of free networking features and settings, like VPN, AI protection, parental control, bandwidth monitoring, and port forwarding, then the ASUS RT-BE96U is the router for you. The ASUS RT-BE96U is priced at $629.99. And of course, we'll have the link listed in the description below. Alrighty, now you can check out these videos right here. And with that, I'll see you in the next video real soon. High five. Peace.